What's going on, everybody? Just wanted to make a video here going over the bugs and problems I've run into while playing SimCity. I am going to try and be as brief as I possibly can. I'm going to go through things as quick as possible. I'm not going to explain everything completely fully. I'll just explain what is bugged. If you want a description of why it's bugged or how to avoid it, I suggest going on the SimCity forums. Otherwise, if I fully describe everything that's bugged in this game, frankly, this is going to be an hour-long video and nobody's going to want to watch that. The reason I'm doing this in a video form is because I was trying to come up with a list of all the bugs off the top of my head, and there are far too many to remember, so coming into the game, looking at the UI, just gives me a better feel and better way to go through everything that's a problem. So let's start with the region view. No matter what you have built here, this will always be 0 in the starting money. This doesn't seem to update and tell you what you have in your region. That's broken. The invite friends button, it'll say 1 invite sent. Your friend will rarely ever get that, and the game chat is completely busted. So that's that for that little section here. A couple broken things right off the hop. Let's move into the city view, and let's take a further look at what is all broken in this game. And like I said, it's so much stuff that's broken at this point. We're 3 weeks in, and I'm resigned to the fact that this game is busted and will likely never be fixed. At least if they are even trying to fix it, I have a feeling EA will shut down the servers long before all the bugs are ever actually fixed. So there's no place better to start with what's broken in this game than the heart of the game itself, and that's the RCI. The RCI is what makes SimCity SimCity. It is what makes SimCity a game, air quotes. Gives you something to shoot for, trying to balance this RCI out. RCI, residential, commercial, industrial. I'm not going to go into what that actually is. If you want to know, or if you don't know, you can look that up. But basically in this game, this is the first one in the series that the RCI does not work. The reason for that is they broke the connection between commercial and industrial because they were unable to work, to have the two work in any kind of harmony. They could not get the industrial to supply the goods for the commercial, and therefore they just broke that link in the chain, rendering I completely irrelevant. It no longer stands for industrial, it stands for irrelevant. You have no reason to build industrial because the goods are supplied from black magic, witchcraft, and voodoo. They are not supplied by industrial. So that link in the chain is completely broken. There's no reason to build industrial. I'm not going to harp on this much longer, but this is the fundamental gameplay mechanic of this game, and it was shipped unfinished. So I mean, really, I could end this video right now and say this game is broken and have no need to further prove my case, but for argument's sake, let us continue and let's quickly go through every one of the buttons on the UI, and we'll decide whether it's broken or bugged or none of the above. Region view in my opinion is broken. They used region view or region play as the excuse to have always online, never be able to play this game solo without internet connection, because they said no city lives in a bubble. Well, I'm here to tell you all cities live in a bubble, and the bubble is incredibly small based on the zone's sizes, and that bubble gets even smaller when you come to the realization that you need to have a power plant, a water treatment plant, a sewage treatment plant. You basically need to have everything in every city because region play is unreliable. You cannot depend on it for any one city. You cannot rely on shoppers, workers, freight, any students to commute. You cannot rely on that. You cannot rely on buying power, water, and sewage from any region. You're just going to have to do it yourself. Sharing vehicles between the regions, also irrelevant because they just go wherever they want anyways. You'll see them in other regions. No matter what you volunteer, your cars just go wherever they want. Region play, waste of time, busted. Making their claim that always online was important is a complete joke. The region play is a complete joke. Every city needs to be self-sufficient. I'm sorry. The region play is broken. Moving on, the clock. Clock's not necessarily broken, but you will look down and every once in a while it'll be completely blank. It just disappears or it freezes altogether. For me, that's just a good time to log off before I start building more and have to roll back my city. If anybody out there has rolled back their city, you will know that rolling back your city makes you want to roll back your life and never buy this game because it's just the most frustrating thing ever. The speeds is broken. Everybody knows that. There's 2 speeds. It says there's 3, but you'll see the clock. Look at that. Look how fast it's moving on llama speed, and look how fast it's moving on cheetah speed. That's because cheetah speed was disabled on day 1. I'm not sure if that's because it overwhelmed the servers or because they were afraid that people would realize how bugged the game was twice as fast. I'm not sure. But all I know is right now there are turtle speed and 2 llama speeds. So you get 2 speeds for the price of 3. Thanks a lot. Waste of time. Your approval rating, not necessarily broken in my opinion. Gets buggy. You'll see it's dropping. You'll look at the wealth class, for example, right here. It says my density, my happiness is dropping. The reasons for it dropping, not so much. So I couldn't tell you why my low wealth happiness is dropping. They seem to be happy with the shopping, and that's about it. So you'll see that, you know, just finicky, just not broken, but just does whatever it pleases, means nothing. Budget panel, not broken, not bugged, seems to work fine for me. Haven't had any issues with taxes, transactions. The only other thing I would say about the region view is the gifting. The gifting's broken. You'll see in your monthly transaction gift and red, and you go to another city and you'll never see gift and green. The money just disappears, doesn't ever show up. I've gifted probably 12 times, and I'd say maybe 3 times it showed up. So the other, you know, 9 or 10 times it just disappeared into thin air. So that's not necessarily broken. Population panel, completely broken in my opinion. It is, you see I have 100,000, or what looks like 100,000 population. If you break it down in the details, I have 11,000 workers, 5,500 shoppers, and 3,000 students. So that's, you know, roughly 18, we'll call it 20,000 people that are actually accounted for and doing something in my city. The other 80,000 people, completely fluff. That's there just to pump this number up, make you feel like you're building a big city when in fact you're building a village. You have nice high-rise buildings, but like I said, 80% of the people that live in there aren't doing a damn thing. So this is just all fluff, all a waste of time, and broken for that reason. You'll see in here, you end up with you know, if you build a tourist city, you're gonna have more people visiting than you have people. It's just completely confusing, and maybe not broken, but just it's far from flawless. I'll leave it at that. Bulldozer tool, you click on it, and occasionally it'll say 7 abandoned buildings, and it won't have the icon pop up for the abandoned buildings or the rubble. Not broken, but buggy at the very least. Let's go to roads. Roads are very finicky as well. Connecting roads, they don't want to connect because the intersection's too close, yada yada yada. Many reasons why roads won't want to connect, won't want to build. It's just very frustrating. Not broken, but just gets annoying as hell. What is broken, in my opinion, is the traffic that ensues on the roads. God forbid, or heaven help you, that you create a 4-way intersection on 2 avenues connecting. You can expect a nice long backup of people all in your left lane, waiting, it looks like, to turn left, but they will not turn left because what they're actually waiting for is a break in the traffic to do a U-turn. So for that reason, never zone on your avenues, and I've heard different opinions on whether to even use avenues. I'm not sure 100% myself between the balance of avenues and streets, but they suck. Traffic sucks. They just had a patch, and I see no changes. Still, I see no changes. It's broken. It's busted. It's, at the very least, buggy. Zoning we pretty much covered with the RCI. I will quickly add that I wish you could maximize, put a cap on the maximum a zone can grow to. If you put a residential zone on a medium street and traffic gets bad on that medium street and you want to upgrade the road to help traffic, you're going to end up upgrading the buildings on that road, which in turn is going to create more population and more traffic problems in the end than you had to begin with. So I wish there was a way to upgrade roads to high density with leaving you an ability to cap your residential at a medium density. There is a way, and that is to unzone that area, and then it won't grow. But if you have a reason to bulldoze that building, you're gonna have to zone it again, and then as soon as the building grows, unzone it again so that it stops, you know, at whatever set density you have, and that's just a pain in the ass. Nobody wants to do that. Moving on, power. Power is one of the few areas that seems to work properly inside your city. In region play, it's a different story. Getting reliable power from another city is a problem, but power in your own city seems to be pretty flawless, except for nuclear power. Anytime you need skilled workers, I haven't figured out if that's calling for educated workers or high wealth workers, but in any case, it seems to work pretty good. Water is game breakingly broken. for the simple reason that you have your water layout starts out as a nice dark blue, and then over time your water towers or your water treatment plants just suck it dry. You'll notice that all cities are apparently in the Sahara Desert because it never rains and the water table is never replenished. If you run out of water and your city hall shuts down, and that shuts down your utility or your services, and then your power shuts down, and you have no water in the zone to reopen these buildings, your game is done. You're broken. You're done. Shut it down. That city's ruined. The only work around for that, sorry, is to place your sewage and your water next to each other. Your sewage replenishes the water table with polluted water, and that forces you to use your filtering pumps rather than just the regular pumps. Twice as expensive, limiting in the fact that you can't place it wherever you want, but there is a way to keep going, whether once the water dries up. But if you didn't know that, your city is done. Sewage, not broken, but it gets buggy. This will turn yellow. The guy will be telling you that you have backed up pipes, you have a nice excess, and for whatever reason the sewage gets, it starts slowing down. You'll look at it, this will be in the green, everything's working fine, and then this will stop turning yellow. This guy will stop telling you about backed up pipes, and you just move on with your life, having no idea of why it said that in the first place. So not broken, just buggy. Just know that, it's usually not a problem. City Hall, government buildings, they seem to work fine other than the departments that you attach to them. Sometimes they're not recognized by other cities in the region, rendering them completely useless, and the other city in the region has to build the same redundant departments in order to get utilities. Let's say 3 out of the 4 cities may receive the Department of Utilities benefit, and 1 out of the 4 never will for whatever reason. So that's the only little issue. Know that and act accordingly. Garbage. The garbage itself seems to be fine, other than the fact that all the trucks like to run in a train and follow each other around the city. So there really is no point in adding more garages. Just work with the bare minimum. If they can't get the job done in a day, add a couple more, but there's no point in fully upgrading it to 16 trucks to have them all follow each other around the city. It's just absolutely idiotic. So garbage is not broken or bugged per se, other than the traffic issue. What is broken or bugged is the recycling center. If you happen to share your recycling trucks with another city, the moment they leave your city, your recycling plant will be rendered useless. The recyclables will fill up, and your production here, you see 96 tons a day, will grind to a halt. If you're lucky, you'll see 0.1 tons per day. This will be full and nothing will be produced. The only workaround for this is to build another recycling depot or to bulldoze your current one and rebuild it. A fully upgraded recycling depot costs over $300,000 though, so that's kind of a pain in the ass, and building another recycling depot is a pain in the ass. As you can see, it's pretty much the biggest building in this game, so adding more of them is just painstaking. I'm going to treat fire, health, and police all as one because they act all the same. Your trucks will follow each other, your fire trucks. Having 4 fire trucks is completely useless in this game. Basically, you want one, and it's going to go to a fire, it's going to put it out, it's going to move on to the next one. If you have 4 trucks, all 4 trucks are going to follow each other to one fire. One truck's going to put out the fire, the other 3 are going to sit and watch, and then they're going to rinse and repeat this cycle for every fire in your city. They're not going to split up and simultaneously put out 4 fires at a time, so having 4 fire trucks is a waste of time. The only one that I would recommend having multiple vehicles is probably the police. That'll expand their police coverage. As you can see, they don't really follow each other unless you get one criminal and 24 cops have nothing better to do. You'll have all 24 cops show up at that house and arrest that criminal. But other than that, these systems are buggy in that regard, that they just follow each other, and that makes having multiple vehicles a waste of time. But what is broken about that, and this is also game-breaking broken, that if any of these buildings happen to be destroyed, and I'm going to include the mass transit in that as well, if any of these buildings happen to be destroyed while the vehicles are outside of the building, as you can see right now, the police are all on patrol. If this building was to be destroyed either by me bulldozing it or a random disaster destroys it while these vehicles are out, these vehicles are gone for good. And what I mean by that is I can build another police precinct after this has been destroyed. I can fully upgrade the car lots, and it will immediately tell me that all cars are out on patrol, yet you will not see any of them out on the roads. They're gone forever. So your city your city is basically gone forever. That applies to the hospital and the fire. That applies. I'm not too sure about the garbage, to be honest with you. I haven't had a garbage depot destroyed, but that does apply to your municipal buses and I believe your streetcars. Any vehicles that are outside of the building at the time of it destroyed are lost for good. No matter how much you upgrade the new buildings, gone. You will not see them again. So game breaking broken. Yay. Education is not broken. It works, but it doesn't work in the way that I thought it would and probably most people think it would. I'm not going to get into too much detail on that, but basically if you're one of those people like me that thought you needed a grade school, a high school, a community college, and a university to cater to all types of students, that is indeed wrong. There is only one pool of students and they are unbiased. They will go to any school. So having all 4 schools operational at the same time is a waste of time, and it will in fact only impede your upgrade progress of your university as that pool of students is being competed for by all 4 schools. So the best way in my opinion to do this is have one grade school or high school, because they pick up students, keeping them off the roads as traffic, but to have both of them is a waste of time. So have one or the other, and out of the university and the community college also only have one or the other, because these students have to drive to the school, so they will increase your traffic and they will be competing for the desks or for the students out of the same pool. But to have all 4, like I said, is completely a waste of time and a waste of money. So once you have your grade school upgraded, build the high school, destroy your grade school. Once you have the high school fully, you can build the community college. You're more than welcome to destroy your high school. Everybody will go to the community college. And likewise, once you have the high school once the community college unlocks the university, you plop the university, you're more than welcome to destroy your community college. One school is all you'll need. So for that, it's not broken, but it just doesn't work the way I anticipated it would. It's a little silly, but it actually saves you money in the end when you realize that you're not going to be spending $10,000 an hour on education when you only need one school. So if you have 4 schools out there, I'm sorry you've been running on a deficit. You've been wasting your time. Mass transit, while not broken or buggy, just follows the same rules of stupidity that the traffic does. You can have a bus terminal with 24 municipal buses and they'll probably just follow each other. If they don't follow each other within the city, they'll follow each other all the way down the highway as they go to other regions. You'll end up with every region putting a municipal bus depot. That ends up being 96 buses. You'll look in your city and all 96 will be in your city. You'll load up another city and what do you know, all 96 buses are in that city. If they're not all in that city, like I said, they're going to be all on the highway leading into that city, trying to get in, backing up your traffic. So for that reason, buses for me are a no-go. Streetcars are also a no-go because you're unable to build a streetcar layout that gives your streetcars any kind of decision making whatsoever. What I mean by that is if you have an intersection, if this streetcar road came along here and splits here, for example, that's too much for your streetcars to handle. They're not going to make that decision about which way to go. What they're going to do is just go back and forth along this road till the end of days. So if you are going to put streetcars, know that and create a layout where they only have one option. They never have an intersection where they have to decide, do I go left, do I go right, do I go straight? Give them only one route and they'll follow it around your whole city as a loop, and they can be pretty effective. So for that, streetcars are all right. The reason I don't really like them is because once you upgrade to high density streetcar avenues, any street that intersects with them will create a traffic light, and that will cause your traffic on your avenues to increase. Whereas if it's just a high density avenue and it's intersected by, say, let's say a medium density street, that'll create a stop sign for the street and nothing for the avenue. So traffic will continue on the avenue. That will be priority. They will not stop for the people on the street. They can just continue on their day. But as soon as you upgrade this to a streetcar avenue, any street that intersects it will create a red light, and that you do not want. You want to continue flowing. Trains are all right. I find them a little bit irrelevant. They bring in maybe 1,500 people a day, and that's usually just people from other regions or other zones in the region that also have a train station. If you're the only one with a train station, I'm not sure where it's supplying people from, and I'm not sure if it's a waste of time or not. I will say that your wait times will be the best with your train station consistently, but they are also bringing in the least amount of riders per day. Boats I haven't really bothered with too much. Most of the regions I've played don't have a lot of water. so for that I haven't used them much. Planes are a complete waste of time unless you want the international airport. I've built the international airport, and I will say you do not want to build it. It's a waste of time. Your municipal airport brings in more tourists to your city than the international airport does. All the international airport does is increase traffic and increase criminals. So for that, I would say never build it. But if you do want to build it, you have to build your municipal airport first, have 100 tourists a day, and that'll give you the ability to unlock the international airport. So if you do end up with the municipal airport like I did for a little bit, I don't know why my average wait times with 4 runways and 4 passenger terminals was anywhere between 1,200 minutes and at its worst 7,000 minutes. But I was never able to get it below 1,200 minute wait time. So for me, planes are also a no-go. That basically renders mass transit completely useless. Parks work fine. I'm not going to say too much about parks. They work fine. They're not too buggy. Nothing's wrong with them. Disasters, they happen a little bit too frequently for me. For my tastes, I've had a city that got hit by meteor strikes in 3 consecutive hours, which, in itself isn't a complete problem. You just pull out your bulldozer, destroy your buildings, let your fire trucks put out the fires, and the buildings pop back up. The problem arises when it happens to hit one of your big important buildings, like I've already stated, so I'm not going to rehash that. Meteors, once in a while, will also leave either a nice little deposit of ore, or they're capable of leaving a nice little patch of radiation. If you get hit with the radiation, enjoy, have fun. That'll be around for what I'm reading is anywhere from 27 to 34 in-game years. So if that hits a major hub of your city, that area is off limits and a waste. And you really don't have a lot of space in these postage stamp zones to waste anyways. Earthquakes, not too bad, not too big of a problem. UFOs, useless. Big lizard, a little bit more frequent than I would expect. I've had 4 or 5 Godzilla attacks in very limited amount of time in this game, so that seems a little bit much for my taste. They don't really, they come eat your garbage. They're cute, they're funny, great. But if they destroy any of your important buildings, you have a problem. Blowing in the wind, tornado is completely useless, doesn't do a lot of damage. If you see it, don't fret. Zombies are capable of being the most detrimental. I've had 100,000 population wiped down to 5,000 in a matter of a 1 hour or a 1 day cycle of zombies. So they happen at night. They are, the police will fight them off, but once daybreak hits, they destroy. And you pull up your bulldozer tool, and you'll see anywhere from 4 abandoned buildings to upwards of 100. They can completely wipe out a city. So for me, they're a little bit OP. I'm pretty sure we talked about the population being 90% fluff. If I haven't, just know that this number is meaningless. That's not your actual population. I'm sorry, I've already forgot what I went over. There's so much. But if I haven't gone over that, this number is fluff. That's not your actual population. That's just an ego boost to give you the feeling that you're actually doing a good job. And as you can see, I have all high-density buildings jobs being filled by 2 industrial high-density buildings. So industrial, again, irrelevant. Moving on to specializations. Mining works fine for me. I haven't had any problems with that. Oil also works fine for me, other than the fact that some of the unlocks for the petroleum headquarters are a little bit steep with the price of oil. You'll have to work your ass off to get some of the achievements, or the other option is to build 8 or 10 trade depots, set them to local only, wait till they're fully filled up, and then set them all to export simultaneously, and then hope in that next 24-hour cycle you hit your goals. Otherwise, some of the unlocks can be pretty difficult. But overall, not broken, not buggy. Trading, however, is very buggy. You can have vehicles set to export, and you'll see them off in the distance on the highway, and they will never move. Regardless of the traffic, your trade trucks will be stuck on the regional road. They will never return to your trade depots to ship your freights. So if you're a trade city running in the negative as harshly as this, which is at all possible, and still be profitable with your monthly transactions, that will grind to a halt and your city will be broken. This is a game breaker. Trade is broken, in my humble opinion. Trade is broken. The trade depots, they usually work fine except for the vehicles themselves. The trade ports, I've never had much success with them, either ferry or freight, or train. They seem to just stop coming after a while, both the ferry and the train, and you'll end up with a full trade depot and no way to ship them. Electronics, I've only dabbled in electronics. So far it hasn't caused any problems, but I have read on the forums that it is very buggy. Your production will drop for no reason whatsoever. But basically, if you want to make money, this is the way to do it. Electronics, build TVs. The global market prices aren't they're not active, so they're never changing. So that's another reason why the region play is completely busted, and the always online thing is completely foobarred. The global trading prices are not moving, so if you want to make money, just make TVs, ship them all day, every day, and you will be a billionaire in no time. And that is where it'll stop. You're capped at 2.1 some billion, because in a 32-bit binary code, that is the max number that the game can compute. So once you hit 2.14 billion, I believe it is, you cannot make any more money. So if you're a money whore, that will be your cap. Enjoy. Tourism, not necessarily broken, but very buggy in that if you add any of these tourist attractions, you can expect all your commercial zones to immediately turn into hotels. I'm not sure if this causes a problem for your local shoppers, if they can actually still shop at hotels, but if they can't, 100% of your commercial zones will be turning into hotels. So your local shoppers may or may not have any place to shop. I'm not 100% sure, but if you do end up with hotels, what your city will end up looking like is a sea of taxi cabs, and your taxi cabs have nowhere to go, no purpose, and they just get in the way. So enjoy that. While it's not broken, it is very buggy, and it will probably make the rest of your city useless if you depend on clean traffic for that reason. If you're trading at the same time, if you add tourism, you're probably gonna cock block your trading with the taxi cabs that will inherently be spawned by your hotels. So keep an eye out for that. Gambling, again, only dabbled in this, but what I'm reading is that the only gambling house that is profitable, or the only gambling institution that is profitable, is this house. The higher end ones are a complete waste of time and a complete money suck. Like they will not be profitable no matter how hard you try, no matter what you do. The only buildings that will be profitable are the gambling houses. So if you are interested in doing casinos, stick to them and hope for the best. I believe that is everything that is to be covered. We've discussed the region view. The Great Works, the one that I've built so far, airport, is worthless. Don't build it. The other ones can't really give much of an opinion on because I haven't built them, but my hopes are very low for those. I don't think they're going to be anything special. So the end game Great Works are anything but great. So stay away from those. Stay away from gifting, as it's very unreliable. And basically do not depend on anything from any other cities. Make your city self-sufficient, and ignore the fact that this game is always online for the reason of region play, because region play is completely irrelevant. SimCity, born in 1989, March 5th, 2013, it died. Rest in peace. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.